Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all can join us once again, both for our radio audience and us tuning in online through our friends at iHeartRadio. We're glad you all could be with us as well. I'm really excited to welcome actress Blake Lindsley to our program today to talk to us not only about her love of acting, but what it's been like for her to slip into various roles and to see the response to it. Her most recent project that I had a chance to see is called The Wall of Mexico. We'll talk to Blake not only about the film, but also about what she's excited about you guys taking away from it and how you guys can stay connected with her as well. Blake, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, of course, we're going to get into the Wall of Mexico, but I want to first of all begin with this journey. I mean, we are in the middle of what's been an interesting year for sure when it comes to 2020. But I want to talk about the reflection for you, Blake, of your career as an actress. What has it been like for you to do work that you love and to see the way that people are responding to it?
It definitely has been a rough year in so many ways, and I must say that I probably had it easier than a lot of people, although I do have two small children that I'm Zoom schooling currently. But I made a choice a long time ago to be based in LA and to focus on film and TV, and a lot of times over the years I've really thought about that, whether it was the right choice, because I love doing theater so much, and I have done some theater out here, but man, right now, those people in New York have my heart, because if I had chosen to do the other path and be focused on theater, I would be hurting so much more than I am right now. But I'm super relieved that even though the couple movies I have coming out right now are mostly in drive-in situations or online festivals, at least people can see them, right? There's a way to share them, even if we can't see them in a real movie theater. So I'm very relieved about that. The whole casting process is also, thrown up completely into the air. I've had to become my own cinematographer, director, or acting coach, all in one. Yeah. So that's a very steep learning curve. So we'll see how that goes. I can't say I won't be happy to see the return of live auditions. I never thought I'd say that, that I like auditions, but I prefer them to having to self-tape. That's really hard.
Right. It's so interesting to hear you say that, because when I was prepping for this segment with you, Blake, I thought about, wow, what a ride you've had, right? Where we're talking about for a TV series or for film. Do you still have those wow moments when you kind of reflect on the projects you've been a part of and the roles you've been able to bring to life?
Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful. I still want so much more, of course. We all want our lead role in a series or our lead role in a film, but looking back over my career, I'm pretty proud of a lot of the stuff I've done, starting with Swingers and Starship Troopers, and all the way up through the Sessions, which was an Academy Award nominated film that I was a part of not too long ago. My kids aren't quite ready to see stuff yet, but I can't wait to show stuff to them. The Wendy Wasserstein film I did that was based on the play An American Daughter, it turned out being named Trial by Media with Christine Lahti and Tom Skerritt. I'm still super proud of my work in that, so yeah, I'm very, very proud of my career, and yet still want to do so much more. And hopefully, this pandemic isn't going to slow me down too much.
Yeah. Well, one thing, there is kind of a theme throughout your work in this respect, Blake, is that you are not afraid of the action. A lot of your projects are action projects where we're talking about, television or films like The Wall of Mexico. Is that also part of the fun for you, being able to become someone else for a time and to be able to, to explore the world as them?
Oh, that's my absolute favorite thing to do. Sure, it's a great skill to be able to sort of play yourself and be natural and just kind of live in the moment as a character not too dissimilar from yourself. But my absolute favorite thing to do, and always has been, is to really disappear into a character and find so much complexity and so much depth in a character that's completely unlike me, and yet to really feel completely absorb into that person so much so that you would know in a second what that person would want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and so many other answer questions. And I feel that way about my character in The Wall of Mexico. There's a really different person than me, a real hard-ass detective, a tough cop, not someone anything like me. And it was really fun to play that character. A little bit more like me is another film that's out right now or about to come out at the Woodstock Film Festival later on this month. Is a movie called Horse Latitudes that I shot in France a couple years ago, where I play, a mom, a former yoga instructor. It's certainly not me, but much closer to me, much bigger role than I have in The Wall of Mexico. It's a real co-star role in another beautiful film. So I like to do a big range of roles, but it's certainly a challenge and something that I really enjoy is to get into the shoes of someone who's just completely apart and distant from me.
Yeah. And you mentioned something, I want to go back to something you mentioned, Blake, that we're all dealing with, and that is, of course, a lot of us were on, myself included, on social media and using the internet a lot because it helps us to broadcast our work like we're doing even with this segment with you. Have you found a new appreciation for it, considering that it's now the way that a lot of us are communicating and kind of staying connected with the world?
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed Facebook and Instagram as a way to keep in touch with friends and family. And, of course, it seems to be almost the sole way I can communicate right now. We all have gotten complacent over the years about writing letters or even emailing, certainly actually making phone calls. But now, of all times, I'm so grateful for Instagram and Facebook to keep in touch with all of my extended friends and family. Was that the question? I didn't quite hear all of it.
Yeah, it is. And I think, again, that is one of the things that we appreciate because, we're able to continue to enjoy the world, right, and to be able to stay connected with you guys as well. I think, too, the other side of it is as well, Blake, as we kind of look at where we are today, especially when it comes to your industry, is that there is a lot of the uncertainty, but I think there's also a lot of opportunity. What has that been like for you? You mentioned something that's really interesting. Who would have known in 2020 we'd be talking about drive-in movies?
I know. I probably went to 2 drive-in movies in my youth. It was sort of fading when I was a kid. So we actually just took our kids to their very first drive-in. It wasn't the same as in the old days when you would hook up to. There was like a little thing next to the car window. I feel like that did the sound into your. So it's not those traditional old drive-ins, but my husband was involved in a documentary called Kiss the Ground that premiered a couple days ago at a hotel here in Hollywood, and I guess I don't know if it was West Hollywood or what hotel it was, but it was really fun to just pull up, and we had popcorn and we watched this great documentary film, an environmental film, really important film. So, yeah, maybe we are sort of 2 steps forward, 1 step back in the industry. I don't know. I'm always very, very impressed by the way that some actors or, different kind of artists use social media to stay connected to fans. I think that I still have some work to do. I'm not that big a presence on Twitter, for example.
Gotcha.
I'm a little, believe it or not, I'm a little bit shy about being myself on camera. You have so many people who do these sort of selfie talking bits on Facebook and on Instagram, and I've never been really comfortable with doing that. My love is to become someone else, not to be me.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
You always have to start with what you have in common with the character and grow from there, even if it's an axe murderer. There's some core grain of similarity between you where you start and then move on. But when you're doing just a, hey, fans, come see my movie, wow, that's so tough for me. So I'm not a big self-promoter, and that's maybe going to have to change.
Well, look, we are glad to help, so that's why we're glad that you're on with us. Again, everyone, Blake Lindsley has been our guest for this segment. We've been talking to Blake not only about the journey to doing what she loves as an actress, but also what's been like for her to reflect on the career she's been able to have. One of the new projects is called The Wall of Mexico, so if you guys have not made plans to see it, definitely have to put it on your list. I think one of the great things about this film is that there's a lot of unexpected things that you'll find in it, so definitely invite you guys to be involved in that. And Blake, what about for yourself? How can our audience kind of stay connected with you?
So I've got a website, BlakeLindsley.com, BlakeLindsley, and I'm on Instagram at Lotus Ranch. I'm also on Twitter, but again, I haven't really been too active on that platform, so I'll try to improve that.
Okay. Well, Blake, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for taking out the time. We really appreciate it, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Oh, you as well. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make today amazing. Take care.